What is going on, guys? We are back with another... One second. Another video. What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and we are, of course, going to do the yearly video of what Madden thinks will happen in the Super Bowl. And as a Packers fan, you know, let's just, okay. It's a nighttime game. It's a clear one. I don't know what the weather's actually supposed to be like. When for forecasting, can they go up to 2 weeks? I think they can. But of course, as a Packers fan, it obviously does hurt that the Packers aren't in it. They played a hell of a game. They had a lot of mistakes, in fairness, but I felt like the Buccaneers made more, and the Packers just did not capitalize. I was completely fine with the result of the game the whole way through. If you guys follow me on Twitter, maybe you watched or seen some of the tweets I had, I was completely fine with the game all the way through. Win or lose, I was like, you know what? It's a hell of a game. Cool, man. But that freaking flag, and I know you can say, you know, it's a blatant one. At the end of the day, yes, you could say, hey, as a Packers fan, you're mad because they called that when they haven't called that all game. But as a Buccaneers fan on the other side, imagine they do let that call go, and Green Bay ends up winning and going to the Super Bowl. So I get that. But let's be honest. As fans, common sense, they have let both teams get away with ridiculous ones. I mean, if the way they played today, both teams would have played that way in the regular season, like Week 7, there would have been a record amount of flags. It was a scrappy little slop fest, and I mean, it wasn't really sloppy, but there was a lot of grabbing and holding and illegal hands to the face. It was actually really entertaining, and I can still take that away from the game, even with that call. At the end of the day, I still think the Buccaneers probably did deserve it a little bit more than Green Bay. Dug ourselves too much of a hole, and ultimately, Tom Brady's on to his 10th appearance in the Super Bowl, which is impressive and also really saddening to me. Of course, talking about what the Buccaneers did well, which was, of course, pass rush. Of course, at the end of the day, the Packers did have a pretty banged up line, and it finally caught up to them. They were able to adjust for the most part throughout the season once David Bakhtiari went out, but it finally caught up to them, and Tampa, I mean, they did well. They did well. Obviously, a much better performance this time around than the first game, but still, that pass rush ultimately, in my opinion, was the deciding factor. The Buccaneers, honestly, the linebackers, even though Devin White did play pretty well at times, they kind of disappeared as well. Of course, it sucks the way you lose when, you know, you had opportunities and you blew them. I can admit that, you know, maybe Rodgers, at times, the moment got kind of big. I think that's the Tom Brady effect as well, when you know the odds going against you. And, of course, when it goes down to being down 28-10, it's such a tough one. You're like, oh, man, all we need is this one touchdown to go up. I really thought they were going to do it. I really thought they were going to make that comeback, which would have been insane. But, yeah, it just didn't happen. And the crazy thing is the Buccaneers did have some injuries. I don't know exactly what their injury report is going to look like going into this game that we're watching right now. But, of course, they had some injuries as well. You know, Antonio Brown was out. Vita Vea was just coming back, so you can't really count him as a full starter. Really, the safeties, they had 2 starting safeties out. And I feel like I could be missing someone else. I don't know. Ultimately, though, for the Green Bay Packers, David Bakhtiari being out finally did prove too much. Tampa, with that pass rush, like I said, was very, very solid. And for whatever reason, though, Tampa Bay's receivers, they continue to struggle with catching the ball. It is strange how Mike Evans is dropping some of these. I know you could say that throw over the middle was overthrown, a little bit high by Brady. This time it actually goes in his favor, though. Deflected and caught by Mike Evans, trying to make up for some of those, quote-unquote, last week. But you still got to come up with the ones that he dropped. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. Brady, I felt like in the first half, played one of the best games of football I've seen. Of course, going against the Green Bay secondary, that has been very, very bad when you throw away from Jair and pretty much Amos, which I'm now going to call him Amos because it is Amos, not Amos, which really makes me sad as well. you throw away from Jair mainly, and you kind of have what you want on us, but still, there was some solid throws, some good decisions. And then he kind of, I don't know what happened, but he kind of started getting worried when we were coming back in the second half. It was really strange. Like, there was a drive. I know this is more of a Packers-Bucks recap than this, but Buccaneers are on offense, so fair enough. Hopefully you guys don't mind it. It seemed like there was a 1st and 10 throw where they threw about 30, 40 yards on the field sideline. Dangerous one, didn't work out. Then they go back to it. It is just like, you're up by a lot, run the ball. It was really strange to me. Obviously, it didn't really matter in the end because they did end up winning. But that was really the biggest strange thing of the game, in my opinion, outside of course, Matt LaFleur. Maybe 5 or 6 minutes left in the game, you decide a field goal. Maybe. But like I was telling someone, Anton, you may have seen on the channel, former Cowboys user in our franchise, taking a break. I told him, even on 4th and 30, I probably go for that. I'm going to be honest. If it's 4th and 30, like, quote-unquote, from the goal line, like, it's a 50-yard field goal or something, like, even a 47-yard field goal, I'm going for it on 4th and 30. I really am. You just don't think, it's Brady. It's playoff football in general. Your defense isn't that great. You can't expect to get the ball back. It was very strange. Of course, Rodgers kind of took a shot at Matt LaFleur a little bit there, but I'm going to send a shot right back at Rodgers. If you truly think you're going to get 4 downs, why aren't you running there? Why aren't you running on 3rd down and goal? If you really think you have 4 attempts, then you run and you get as much as you can. I don't think people realized that he wasn't going to get the touchdown. For some reason, people thought he was actually going to run that in. He was not. He was going to get caught at least at the 3. But if you truly think you have 4 downs, you run there and set up that 4th down play. So I think that was a really cheap shot by him. I really don't know what the future holds because, of course, with the salary cap situation, we're going to be losing some talented players. So unless you have a really solid draft, it's going to be a worse Packers team going in for the next season. So I don't know where you sit there. But, of course, enough of that. Talking about the Chiefs and the Bills, I think the Chiefs, they actually played a pretty decent game and a little sloppy early, but obviously that offense just ultimately proved who they were, as we always know who they are. As far as their holes on the team, I feel like on paper they have more holes than Green Bay, but I just think that insane offense the Packers have a good offense, right? But it's kind of a slow-ish paced offense. So when you get into those games where you are down by quite a bit, which I don't expect the Chiefs to do, the Packers kind of had to get out of it. There was times where you've seen that the run game was just completely abandoned, and you just can't do that. You can't get away from your game no matter what. I would assume Antonio Brown will be back for this game in real life, and obviously that will pose a very big challenge for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Honestly, if the Packers couldn't win this week with the injury opportunities they had over the Buccaneers, I don't know, man. It's hard to go against the Chiefs, but it's also hard to go against the Buccaneers. There's another really good throw to Mike Evans. At home even. The first all-time ever at-home Super Bowl with probably a lot of guys coming back from injury. Man, that is going to be a tough one. It should be a fun one. I'm going to have a hard time watching it, though. It's either you watch Mahomes win back-to-back and already pretty much make himself better than Rodgers, or you see Brady win a 7th and kind of ruin the entire sport of football because no one will ever catch him. Anytime a player is good, they're always going to compare him to Brady. So, yeah, this was almost a worst-case scenario one for me. Honestly, I would have rather seen the Bills and Packers play in the Super Bowl and the Bills win the Super Bowl. Honestly, this was a worst-case scenario, in my opinion, for legacies. But then again, if you want to see greatness and you don't have your own personal agenda like me wanting Rodgers to go down as one of the greatest, I guess it could be and should be a very fun game. And of course, this has been a slow-paced one, so hopefully, once again, you don't mind me talking about the games. I might, let me know in the comment section, I might next year start doing Packers recaps, like the moment the games end. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I know a lot of other YouTubers do that. So if you guys be interested in that, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, you can only see so much during the game, but I feel like I notice pretty much every position at all times. A nice little play on the inside, I believe, to Antonio Brown. It is down to the 7. Buccaneers having a very solid drive, kind of similar to that Packers-Buccaneers game where they looked really sharp coming out. I will say, maybe not really sharp is a fair one because the ground game pretty much all night, other than the one big run from Fournette, afternoon, I suppose, they did actually get stopped pretty well, which on paper the Packers should be able to, stop the run better than the Chiefs, so that could be a problem in this Super Bowl. getting a little late over there. Is that Snead? Jesus. And over the middle, Mike with the drop would have had a touchdown. Speaking of drops at a touchdown, hello, Devontae. So many opportunities blown. Oh, that hurts. Okay, back to the video. Personal bias and agenda out of the way. The Chiefs do have Chris Jones, but I really don't think they can stop the run as well as Green Bay, which is saying something. So this could be a game where, maybe you don't see a shootout between the quarterbacks. Maybe the Buccaneers try to control the clock a little more with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, who I honestly thought we would see a little more Ronald Jones in real life in that championship game, but we didn't. Of course, the tight end position, I'm surprised, once again, another spot that the tight end position wasn't more utilized, especially against Green Bay. Going back-to-back games here against weaker inside linebackers, you got to start utilizing the tight end. I think if you can get Gronk going more than the Buccaneers have, I think they could be literally unstoppable, which, of course, they're in the Super Bowl already, so it's literally one away from having another ring. Oh, my. But, yeah, I don't know why they don't go to the tight end more. Gronk has definitely taken a step back, as you would expect, but he's still viable enough. He's still a big enough mismatch, so... And over the middle, Godwin gets the touchdown, doesn't drop it, gets the touchdown, and a perfect drive, and somebody just got hammered, pushed all the way into the back. What the hell was that? Some lineman just clobbered a Chiefs player. Of course, Mahomes, not happy, but he's ready for this, so we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I expect a good game. I don't really think the Chiefs are going to be, the Buccaneers are going to stop the Chiefs too often, but I also don't expect the Buccaneers to commit as many turnovers as they did in the championship game. A lot of those were kind of lucky situational things by Green Bay. The drops, I wouldn't say are going to be cleaned up, but playing in a lot warmer weather, playing at home, people might say it might not matter, but it does. It definitely matters. So you would think that should be cleaned up a little bit more, and those interceptions shouldn't happen. As far as pass rush goes, Green Bay, once again, on paper, should be a better pass rush team than the Chiefs, but they've really had a down year. Ironically enough, Kenny Clark finally had a good game for Green Bay this year, finally. As far as Chris Jones goes, I think he's more consistent, so he should be more disruptive. But overall, I think Brady should have another pretty clean pocket. Really comes down to blitzing those corners and potentially, a guy like Tyrann Mathieu or something on Brady. But yeah, it's going to come down to a Tyrann Mathieu crazy ball hawk moment like he usually is due for. But yeah, once again, it should be a good one. I do expect the Buccaneers to run the ball more than they did today. Yesterday, I suppose. Of course, once again, both teams not really well equipped to stop the run, but they really didn't commit to it, Green Bay-wise. The Buccaneers-wise, even though they're playing against a rougher run D. But going into this game, I expect it. And, of course, we're kind of rambling on, kind of repeating ourselves at sometimes. They're taking a long time to get on the field, okay? I got to say something. And as far as cornerback play, the Buccaneers are pretty physical, but I do expect the referees to call a little bit more in the Super Bowl. I got away from them a little bit, I feel. Nice quick throw to Travis Kelce, fighting for a gain of about 4.5, 5. I think the refs, it got away from them a little bit, and then they were maybe told from the higher-ups, just let it happen, of course, until that final play where there was 2 penalties by the Buccaneers, but they called ours. Oh, God, that still kills me. But yeah, I expect a bit more of a cleaner game. So as far as if that is the case, I don't know if the Buccaneers can stop. Oh, that could have and should have been a pick by Levante, but instead it's a throw over the middle for a gain of about 20 yards to Tyreek Hill. Guy that, honestly, there's no one on that Bucs team, really not many in the league in general, that can stop that man. But yeah, if it's a clean game, they're calling holds, they're calling PIs, the Chiefs should have a pretty good day in the pass game, especially if some of those safety injuries linger or if they're actually ruled out. And yeah, that's pretty much my analysis for it. The Chiefs continue to run the ball, pass the ball at a high rate. Chiefs aren't probably going to have that much success on the ground. And on defense for the Chiefs, it comes down to taking the ball away. I don't think they're going to cover. I think, once again, both teams can't really cover each other super well here. Sammy Watkins over the middle for 8 yards. So if you really hated the Rams-Patriots Super Bowl, this should be one you absolutely love. At least that's what we're all hoping for, right? Light up the scoreboard, 40 points each team, and all is forgiven. Not really, but I'll be happier, kind of. Second one from the 42-yard line from the I formation. Is that still Anthony Sherman? They are going to play action. Really? Just run, Mahomes. And he will. Mahomes with a ton of room. He's still going all the way. Oh, he fumbled, but all the way to the 8. That was a 42-yard run. You can't leave him that open. Is he mad? Loose ball. Your ma's got loose balls. I don't even know what that means, but I said it. Mahomes hit hard out of bounds, but he gets the big yardage play. Jackson Mahomes is doing some TikTok dance in the suite above. After that, I don't get what the kid's about, to be honest. From the 8-yard line, it looks like no, it's not a run. I mean, I said probably don't run it, but maybe you should. And Tyreek Hill reaches over the line and gets the score. Both teams look pretty damn sharp on offense, and I would have to say the Chiefs looked a little bit sharper, where the Buccaneers were trying to maybe control the clock a little bit more than the opposing squad. But yeah, very good offenses. Do give Brady about 3 minutes to work here before halftime. And boy, do those words haunt me. Nice play, Tyreek, to reach over the line. Going against Levante David on that one. Not an easy guy to use your power with. Right under center for their second drive. Looks like he's signaling for an in motion. Doesn't get it. And Ronald Jones is going to take it for about 5 yards. A guy that, once again, think he should have had a bigger role. And I'm surprised he hasn't had a bigger role after a pretty damn good season. I don't know if injuries happened or if they just felt like Leonard Fournette was hotter. But yeah, Ronald Jones, expect him to be unleashed. And not super great here in simulation here against the Chiefs, but Chris Jones is absolutely crushing it. And there goes Ronald Jones being an absolute weird individual, having about a 10-15 yard gain, and decides to forego it and make it more interesting on a 3rd and 1. Tyrann Mathieu, of course, gets up there at the line of scrimmage, makes the tackle, and this should take us to the 2-minute warning. He's got a 5-wide set. Brady throws it underneath, and another drop. A crucial one that you come back to and think about, is that the reason you lose the game? That is a huge missed opportunity. And I feel like if the clock was, there's a little more clock there, 4th and 1, you maybe go for it if you're them. But obviously with 2 minutes left, you got to just play D. Cameron Brates drops the ball there. I feel like I didn't see him much in the championship game. Maybe another name. Like I said, attack that tight end position. Inside linebacker position with your tight ends. And I feel like you get a lot of success. But I don't know, maybe that's just they don't trust the guys. And maybe there's reason to, as Cameron Brate obviously drops that and hit right as he's catching it. Hardman's got to be careful with that. We obviously know of a recent error on a punt return attempt. But yes, the Chiefs with a really good defensive, I wouldn't say stand, but obviously a good set of plays there on that drive. And a little maybe more help from the fact that Buccaneers decided to sell that drive away. Ronald Jones having a chance at what would have been an easy big play gainer. And obviously Cameron Brate with that drop on 3rd and 1, a brutal drop. You got to catch that as a tight end. That's literally what you are paid for the most part, right? Unless you're a blocker, which, I mean, I guess the Buccaneers kind of do have that role for them. But yeah, you got to catch possessioners, right? Not everyone has to be Travis Kelce running down the field like a maniac, but man, that is a bad play. Holmes, could you not tear Tyreek Hill's arm off? We get it. You have a lot of strength. Like, I don't know if you realize that. He could have ripped Tyreek Hill's arm right out of the socket there on accident. Even with the left, no one cares. 38-yard line, 5 wide, but empty backfield. And it is a risky one again. A couple of shots risky to Tyreek Hill. Of course, the first incomplete pass of the game. But Levante has been in range for a few of these now. But Levante has played the possession rather than taking a possession. Maybe not the worst call to do, and considering how much speed this team has. They're gone in a blink of an eye. But yeah, 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. Bucks are stacking pretty hard here. I feel like if you run a slant from that left side, you'd be pretty open. Tyreek over the middle. No! Takes the shot to Sammy, and dangerous as Sean Murphy Bunting could have had a deflection pick that would have easily went for a 6, changing the entirety of this game as the Chiefs now face a 3rd and 10. Once again, right before halftime, got to play it safe. Even though they don't look like that is on the itinerary for today, A lot of good receivers out wide. Running back in the backfield looks to be Le'Veon Bell. I can't tell. Over the middle, attacking the linebackers. A very good linebacking group of the Buccaneers with Mr. Travis Kelce, the best tight end in football. The man does nothing but break records. And, of course, looking to add another ring to his total, 2 in a row, which would be very impressive for any of these players, of course. I'm feeling a big play on this one from Mahomes. And, I mean, it's not a small play, but really nice. First down, another timeout by the Chiefs. Maybe a little premature there. Maybe hurry up instead. Of course, you still have that back pocket timeout there. Yeah, I think you hurry up there. You just hurry up. Maybe run the ball even if you really want to get wild and you want to get fresh. People are like, no, do not run that's a terrible idea. No. A lot of players near the line of the interior of the line of scrimmage, I suppose. And look at Mahomes. And he is going to stay in bounds. A little bit of a bad decision there by Mahomes to keep his feet in and doesn't try to get out of there. Almost 100 yards rushing from Mahomes already. First and 10, 30 seconds left. A bit of a blitz and a debatable one there. I think you probably have to call a timeout right there. I don't know. The 10-yard line has the running back open. A little bit of a risky one as they do waste their timeout. And unfortunately, that will be the end of the first half. 7-all. EA is terrible at making video games. All right, we know the score, but let's take a look more in depth. Here is the yardage with the Chiefs getting the ball first here. Well, no, I guess first to start the second half. Definitely can tell that they are definitely playing a bit better than Tampa. But I will say there's been some wild ones. I mean, even there, a little bit of a fumble. I know he's gone out of bounds, so it's hard to tell. But I feel like there's been more dangerous throws from the Chiefs in this one that could have easily been picked off. Whereas Tampa seems to be a little safer with the ball. And once again, they're both tied up. So at the end of the day, they're doing something right. And they will take this back. And they were only going to get to the 22-yard line. I know we did mention that the Chiefs should and probably will be looking to pass mainly in the game, but it never hurts to get the ground game rolling a little bit, so maybe expect a run here on first, maybe even second down, depending on how much success you get. Really just need to get about 3 or 4, and you're kind of setting it up. Got a couple of really talented receivers on the right side of the field. This is where I think you would run it because, it gets them spread out a little bit. As Travis Kelce catches it over the middle, slips a tackle, and Murphy Bunting, I believe, on that tackle. Gain of about 16 yards on the play. Actually, maybe 13. Some yards and whatnot. The 36-yard line, quick throw. Remember what I was saying with those dangerous ones. About 3 to 4 now. That second earlier, or the deflection goes in a different spot. Maybe talking about a pick, maybe even a pick 6. So even though it looks good for the Chiefs, there is still that danger factor. And in second and 10, maybe an inside zone run here. It is not. They're going to pass yet again, and the blitz is picked up decently well, but more importantly, not even really worried about the blitz pickup because he just gets that throw out so fast. Guys couldn't even finish running to get to the damn lineman. Really good play, but a 3rd and inches. We've seen a 3rd and 1 go wrong as Brate dropped it on the other side of things. Of course, only 4 down players. You got the linebackers that can run very fast, so that could be the case. And no, they're just going to get completely gashed on the play. I get that the Chiefs haven't run the ball much, and that is a huge blow to the team as Devin White, who has played an outstanding season of football, is now down for Tampa on this one. Of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Hey, that's a bouncy helmet you got there. Hilaire gets the easy first down. Once again, you haven't run the ball much, but 3rd and 1, you probably need to get closer to the line of scrimmage, right? Leave your safeties back if you're worried, but you gotta get a little closer there. Linebackers need to react faster as well. First and 10 from the 49. Clean pocket and over the middle again. A massive gain for Travis Kelce, who is now 51 yards. Of course, if you do the math on it, you can maybe make the argument that it's 150. 21-21 now, halfway through the 3rd quarter. First and 10 again, 33-yard line, and it's a screen. It's like a delayed screen. And what in the world is that? I feel like they should have had so many more yards, and Le'Veon Bell just was not interested in staying in bounds. And also, what is this camera view? It's like I'm playing that Grounded game on Xbox. I'm like a little shrunken man, and they're all giants. 2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line. Speaking of 26, guy that kind of sold is going to actually, I believe, get the handoff. And once again, why is he rushing so far to the outside? He has the interior there. I don't know what to tell you, but 3rd and 3 now from the 26-yard line, as Jamel Dean was the one to bring him down. It's not good when a corner is the first one to get to you, and you gain nothing. Fair enough. If it's the first one to get you, it's probably a decent run, right? No, it wasn't on that one. 3rd and 3 now from the 26. Kansas City looking to run a little bit more than normal, and there's just nobody on that team, maybe even on planet Earth, that can cover Travis Kelce as he gets another clutch first down, having a heck of a Super Bowl so far, as 3 minutes have gone off the clock in the third, and the Chiefs with a very high chance to score. Look for something over the middle again. If 5 players down with the linebacker over the middle, he can't run the ball here. And Mahomes gets himself in trouble, has a chance to run, and he will score. Almost 100 yards on the ground, I believe, and he has a rushing touchdown. Just when you forget that he can do that, and that's when he strikes. Nice run, and of course they are leading. Of course, Brady been in situations like this, much worse ones, obviously, and looking to try and get his team back into this thing. Well, it's kicked deep, but they will return. Last time he got popped on the return, and a little bit safer of a tackle, but only gets to the 24, so nothing special to make of it. 1st and 10, all-out blitz. Hit as he's thrown, but of course with the blitz, gives him a ton of room down the sideline. A gain of about 20 to Leonard Fournette, who does hold on to the ball. Under center, Brady is 1st and 10. Why not try to run it here, even though they're stacking hard over the middle? Not much to gain, but Mike Evans turns into a pretty decent play. About 5 yards there, 6 yards even. Really nice little play to get extra there. I thought he was going to maybe gain 2. I thought he was actually going to get speared in the back, to be honest, but does well, holds on, gets the yards. Setting up a pretty manageable 2nd and 4, maybe even your shot plays. Really haven't seen Tampa take that shot. Chiefs have had a couple over the middle and a pretty decent one to Tyreek Hill early in the first quarter, I believe. I mean, not early, but in the first quarter, maybe the early second. And here, this is where the Buccaneers are going to make their money. Got all these players spread out. A couple of linebackers out of position for Kansas City. Got to think to the right side. It's going to get wide. And maybe not. Linebacker comes up with a big play on that one. 3rd and 4. Was it a linebacker? I thought it was like 56. Maybe it was Sorensen. 3rd and 4. 4 down linemen. See what they can do from the 50-yard line. A couple of receivers outside. And Fournette has a chance, and he gets it. Clutch throw, using that throw power to get the ball there in time. And, of course, enough time to get up the field to convert. And that will most likely take it to the 4th quarter, which is very interesting now, as it's a very close one here. It could be a 14-all score, all said and done here. Maybe it won't take us to the 4th. Maybe try to get one more play off, and they do. Gronk to the outside, wide open. Maybe led him a little too far out of bounds there, but Gronk should still be able to recover and keep that in bounds, gain the first. But yeah, not a great play. They got a little excited on that one. A little in motion from Antonio Brown, and underneath on the drag is where they will take it. And he gets the stiff arm, fighting hard for a gain of about 14 yards on the play, and that will move the chains. For the 28-yard line, Brady all the time in the world, and still going to take the sack. 2nd and 19 to the outside. Fournette gains about, is that 11? 9? Hey. 3rd and 10 for the 28-yard line. Brady off the edge and gets hammered by Snead. And that will have to be a punt. And with them down by a touchdown, they may never see this ball again. You got to factor that technically it's not. I know it's a strange one to make the math on, but technically it's 9 minutes in the 4th, so obviously you do have to probably give this ball up. Maybe not a punt, though. Maybe you can get away with a field goal. We'll see. And they will decide to punt it. And it is not a great one. Very close to, though. First and 10 for the 20, and Mahomes slips out of it, tries to fight, and gets taken down. Once again, you are leading in this game. I am not sure the reason to throw. I'm also not really sure the reason to blitz on that, but it does end up working. About to be the second, Jesus, words. The 2 in the warning in the fourth quarter, and of course, it will be now with a most likely punt on their way. So, ultimately, the punt for the Buccaneers may not be so bad after all. 3rd and 7 for the 23. Mahomes on the run delivers the throw of the century, and that will be the ball game. That would 100% be the throw. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. The throw of all time. The greatest throw literally ever. That is absolutely nuts. And of course, just insane speed, top tier speed. Gets way behind them on a double coverage play and then has the speed to catch it. It slows down a little bit and just accelerates past everyone. That is absolutely ridiculous. From the 23-yard line, over the middle and overthrown. 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. Brady throwing a check down there. Gains 3. Maybe lead that upfield a little bit more. I can agree with it. 3rd and 7. Brady over the middle. Clutches up. And a face mask on top of it. They need to score fast. And that's exactly what they need to do to keep this going. From the 40. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. The meme is alive. And not a bad play, but once again, hurry up to the line. Got to do something. From the 27-yard line over the middle, and you got to go deeper than that. 2nd and 4 for the 21-yard line, and a game-sealing pick. Just not even attempted. 3rd and 4 from the 21. Got to get out of bounds there, and he doesn't. And I'm going to be honest, I don't see this happening. I really don't. Of course, wasting that timeout means they have to get the onside kick now. But the only thing they should be worried about is scoring the touchdown, and they do. They're now within 1. Onside kick attempt recovered by the Chiefs and held on, and that, barring any sort of wild mistake, will seal it for the back-to-back champions. And somehow the Chiefs are forced to punt it. I looked away while I was waiting for it to finish. What the hell? Anyways, though, you can see the happiness on their faces as they go back to back. Once again, I really don't even know who to root for here. Probably the Chiefs, but man, it sure is something, isn't it? It's 2 powerhouses going after it against each other. Once again, should be a good one, even though, once again, I'm not super happy that one of these are going to be the winners. But yeah, I suppose Chiefs get the nod for me just because, I mean, Brady's had his time, right? I know the Buccaneers kind of deserve it, but man, enough, right? Enough of them. You got your rings. Relax. Just looking at some of the highlights of the game. No turnovers, even though both teams did have their turnover-worthy plays in this one. Ultimately, it just came down Mahomes making the bigger plays when they mattered. You know, that 3rd and whatever, 15 it may have been, on the run across his body to Tyreek Hill, there it is, speaking of, for the massive touchdown. Plays like those are just the ones that win you games, and obviously, Mahomes is the MVP of the league here. Well, maybe not of the game. I'm tired, okay? I'm sorry. I record these tired sometimes. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, who knows? It's not the clearest cut. I mean, I would say Rodgers wins MVP, but you never know. You know, they're not supposed to vote on who makes it to the Super Bowl or whatever, but it could play a factor. I mean, if I was voting, like, let's say you have 2 MVPs candidates, one gets knocked out in the divisional, or not even the divisional, the wild card or something, and the other one makes it to the Super Bowl, I'm like, you know, maybe. I'm just saying. But, of course, these are the ratings. Both quarterbacks played really, really solid. And if you were to do the math, if you tripled it, which isn't technically the way it works, I would say you 2.5 times it, because there's like a weird, like, kind of second delay that kind of correlates to what the clock should be. Like, if you put on 1 minute quarters in sim, the sim isn't over in like a couple of seconds. It actually is really slow. Like, each play takes off like 3 to 5 seconds of the clock. So it doesn't exactly work like that, but I'd say maybe 2.5 it. So basically, you know, maybe like 5 touchdowns for each QB, maybe, you know, almost 500 yards, 400, 500 yards for both guys rushing. Definitely not much of a factor. As we said, Mahomes ran a lot, obviously, but this is probably a game, maybe not these exact numbers, but definitely should see less from the Chiefs than the Buccaneers, in my opinion. And obviously, these are the ratings there, the stats. Sack totals, really, you know, other than a couple of plays, there's no consistent pressure on either side. But ultimately, that will be the Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe you're a Bills, Chiefs, Packers, or Buccaneers fans, and you have an opinion of the latest games and an opinion going forward. Let me know in the comment section below. Always look forward to reading those. And if I were to give a prediction, 38-31 Chiefs over the Buccaneers. But every time I say it, it doesn't happen. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, you know, these types of, I mean, they're Madden, but they are kind of talking about football type videos. Maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise on the channel. Maybe follow my second channel, PKR Plays, or subscribe to that channel, PKR Plays. Should have a video up tonight, Cyberpunk, and of course a stream tonight on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. I think this will be the only video on the main channel today, and maybe follow the Twitter at Jeromepkr. I know I need a nap. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!